As the weather cools down, we turn our attention to darker beers, and this is my favourite beer to brew at home, my Oatmeal Stout. It's got this beautiful biscuity, toffee, nutty, coffee aroma, and on the tasting, it's got this beautiful biscuit backbone which supports caramel, dark fruit sweetness with nutty complexity and coffee notes in the finish. In this grain to glass video, I want to go through the recipe and show you the process involved in creating this beer so that you too can brew this at home. Stay tuned. Okay brewers, let's talk Oatmeal Stout. So what actually is an Oatmeal Stout? Well, the style emerged around the 1890s and quickly became very popular as brewers started to add oats to their grist. The style then got promoted as being something that was very healthy because it provided valuable calories to those who might not otherwise be able to find them in their diet. As the style's popularity soared, more and more brewers started brewing and promoting this style of beer, even if they only added a tiny amount, at some cases just 1% of oats to their grist. So let's talk about the style. As you can see, it varies from 4.2% to 5.9% ABV. So it's not a big stout, but it does carry heaps of body and flavour. In comparison, it's more like an extra stout and a sweet stout had a baby with oatmeal added. Several variations exist, with the sweeter versions being more like a sweet stout with oatmeal added instead of lactose. So there is no lactose in the Oatmeal Stout, but sometimes, not always, it's added to a sweet stout. And the drier versions are more nutty, flavourful, or more like an Irish stout. But both tend to emphasise the body and mouthfeel. For me, what characterises an Oatmeal Stout over these other styles is this full, silky, creamy body with a nutty texture which the oatmeal adds to the flavour of the beer. According to the BJC guidelines, this beer is a dark, roasty, full-bodied stout with enough sweetness to support the oat backbone. The sweetness balance and oatmeal impression can vary considerably. So let's have a look at how we achieve this. We've started with a malt backbone of 3.5 kilos of Maris Otter Simpson's Finest Pale Ale. This will give us a malty, biscuity backbone to build upon. Then I've added 500 grams of Gladfield Go Nutty roasted oats. This will give us a nutty texture as well as a silky, creamy, full mouthfeel to the beer. I've then added 500 grams of medium crystal malt and 500 grams of toffee malt to my grist to give, again, more toffee caramel sweetness and maybe some hints of dried fruit. To the grist, we've added 200 grams of wheat roasted malt and roasted barley. So the roasted wheat malt adds colour and some flavour without that intense roast that we get from roasted barley. So we've balanced this out half-half with our dark roasted grains because we want to get some roast, some of that coffee character, but we don't want it to be overwhelming. In this style, it's a softer, more subtle style. We don't want a big roasty presence like we would in an imperial stout or an Irish export ale, which really, that coffee dark roast dominates the palate. In this beer, in an Oatmeal Stout, we want it there, hints of light coffee, but it can't be dominant. It's got to be balanced with all the other flavours. I've just added a bittering addition of 52.5 grams of East Kent Goldings. You could add a later finishing, maybe 20 grams of Fuggles if you like, if you want to give a bit of more of a floral, spicy, earthy mouthfeel. But for me, this beer is all about the malt. So I haven't bothered. I've just done my finishing hops, which does come through in the flavour, but it's not the dominant note in the beer. I've used Fermentis SO4 ale to ferment this. I only used 1 packet. You can use 2 if you like. But this beer finishes out my English ales very well and gives a nice ester profile, which will present in this beer as some dark fruit flavours. You can see my salt additions here. Don't copy them. That'll depend on what you are starting with as your water profile. Work out your own and what's fitting for this sort of style. For my temperature, I've used a mash temperature of 67 degrees. So I've gone for a middle sort of mash temperature so that my resulting beer does not end up too thin. I want a rounded, fuller beer, remember, for this style. All right, let's brew some beer. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to others who might also enjoy this content. Also, if you haven't already, why not consider joining your local homebrew club? It's a great, fun, interesting way to meet new people and learn how to make better beer. At pubs, we meet on the third Tuesday of every month. If you're in our local North Brisbane area, we hope to see you there. If not, why not look up and investigate what local clubs are operating in your local area. Until next time, keep brewing. If you're interested in brewing good malt-focused beers, then check out this video, which discusses how different malts can impact the flavour and mouthfeel of your beer. Cheers.